Marcy the Mermaid and the Sunken Treasure Map. One bright morning, Marcy the Mermaid swam gracefully through the coral reef, her long shimmering tail gliding through the crystal clear water. The sun sparkled above, sending beams of light dancing across the ocean floor. She was searching for colorful seashells to decorate her underwater grotto when something unusual caught her eye: a golden bottle half buried in the sand near a patch of sea anemones. Wow! What's this? Marcy gasped as she reached for the bottle, brushing away the sand. Just then, her best friend Coral the Clownfish darted over. Ooh, it looks old, Marcy. Maybe it's a pirate's message. A moment later, a familiar shadow swept over them, followed by a burst of bubbles. Finn the Dolphin arrived, flipping his tail excitedly. Hey, what are you two looking at? Finn asked, curiously eyeing the bottle. Marcy turned it over in her hands and gasped. There's something inside! She carefully pulled out the cork and shook the bottle. A rolled-up parchment slipped out. As she unrolled it, all three friends gasped. It's a treasure map! Marcy exclaimed. The map showed a twisting path through dangerous underwater caves, past the deep trench, and finally leading to an X marked near an old sunken ship. That's the lost ship of Captain Tidebeard, Coral whispered. I've heard stories. They say his treasure was never found. Finn flipped with excitement. That means it's waiting for us. What are we waiting for? Let's go! Marcy grinned. All right, let's find some treasure. The trio set off, following the map's directions. Their first stop was the Kelp forest, a towering maze of green and gold strands swaying in the current. Schools of shimmering fish darted between the tall plants. This place is tricky, Coral said. If we go the wrong way, we could get lost. Marcy studied the map. It says to look for a rock shaped like a starfish. That's where we turn left. Finn swam up high for a better view. There it is! Follow me! They carefully navigated through the kelp, avoiding sneaky crabs and tiny jellyfish drifting by. At last, they made it out safely. That was easy, Finn said proudly, but Coral shivered. The next part won't be. We have to go through Jellyfish Hollow. Ahead of them, Jellyfish Hollow stretched like a glowing blue field, filled with hundreds of jellyfish, their long tentacles trailing behind them. If we get too close, we'll get stung, Coral whispered. Finn thought for a moment. I've got an idea! Stay close to me! Using his quick reflexes, Finn zigzagged through the jellyfish, guiding Marcy and Coral through the safest path. We're almost there! Marcy cheered just as a giant jellyfish floated down in front of them. Uh-oh, Coral squeaked. Thinking fast, Finn splashed the water with his tail, creating a small wave that pushed the jellyfish aside. Phew, nice move, Finn, Marcy said. With one final push, they swam out of Jellyfish Hollow and into the open ocean. Ahead of them lay the deep trench, a dark canyon that stretched far below the ocean floor. The map showed a hidden tunnel leading through it. Finn shivered. I don't like the look of this place, Marcy pointed at the map. If we're careful, we'll be fine. The tunnel is supposed to be near a coral arch. They swam deeper, searching for the entrance. Strange glowing fish darted past them, and eerie whale songs echoed in the distance. There it is, Coral said, spotting a large coral-covered archway. Just as they swam toward it, a sudden current whooshed through the tunnel, pushing them backward. Hold on tight, Finn shouted as he spun through the water. Marcy grabbed Coral just in time, holding onto a rocky ledge. It's too strong! We'll have to wait for the current to slow down. After a few minutes, the water settled, and they carefully swam inside. At last, they made it through and came out on the other side, where a massive shipwreck lay covered in coral and seaweed. Marcy, Finn, and Coral stared in awe at the lost ship of Captain Tidebeard. The masts were broken, but the wooden hull was still intact. This is it, Marcy said. The treasure must be inside. They swam toward the captain's quarters, following the map's last clue. A heavy coral-covered door blocked their way. Finn, can you push it open? Coral asked. Finn nodded, took a deep breath, and rammed the door with his snout. It creaked loudly and slowly swung open. Inside, the room was filled with barnacle-covered chests, old pirate coats, and rusty swords. At the back, a single large chest sat covered in golden seaweed. Marcy swam over and tried to open it. It's locked! Finn looked around. Maybe there's a key? Coral gasped and pointed. Over there! That skeleton is wearing a pirate coat and he's holding a key. It was Captain Tidebeard himself. His skeletal hand clutched a golden key. Marcy gulped, then carefully took the key and swam back. She turned it in the chest's lock. Click! The chest slowly creaked open, revealing glowing pearls, sparkling gemstones, golden coins, and shimmering necklaces. We found it! Finn cheered, flipping in excitement. Marcy picked up a golden medallion with Captain Tidebeard's crest. This is amazing! We should take a few treasures as souvenirs but leave the rest. Coral nodded. That way Captain Tidebeard's treasure stays safe for future explorers. They each took a small piece of treasure and then swam back toward home, excited for their next adventure. As they swam away, Marcy looked at the treasure map one last time and noticed something strange. Hey! There's a secret note written on the back of the map. Finn and Coral gasped. What does it say? Coral asked. Marcy read aloud. Beware, the guardian of the lost city. Finn's eyes widened. A lost city. Marcy grinned. Looks like we have another adventure waiting for us. With excitement bubbling in their hearts,